So, you guys are probably interested in who Nootmare really is. All that I've been saying about him was he's not human, but I never told you who he really is, which is what I'm going to tell you in this video. At first I was just going to give you hints on videos, but I got too lazy for it. Nootmare is a mysterious creature. These creatures were named Night Stalkers, whose purpose was to create a kingdom of their own, but people decided to own these creatures as their pets. Little did they know was how dangerous these humanoid animals were. Because of how they treated the Night Stalkers, they acted like they loved the attention people gave them. If they didn't get attention, they'd murder people, escape, and continue their purpose. They basically wanted to be free again, until that dream that they all had was true. Centuries later, people stopped liking the Night Stalkers, after they finally realized how dangerous they were. And these creatures were finally free. Decades later, the Night Stalkers continued to build their kingdom. One of them, however, wanted to be like humans, because they were more loved than their own race. The religion of these creatures were very traumatic for them. Once the mother gave birth, they would keep their younglings for a couple of years until they were old enough to survive on their own, meaning that when they were 5 years old, they would be abandoned by their mothers. This particular Night Stalker was named Nootmare. He wanted to be loved, and have a family who would love him. He tried everything to be accepted, but nothing worked. He then finally realized that he could disguise himself as a human. His plan finally worked. He was still a child, about 7 years old. He was taken in by an orphanage, and met his first friend, named Classy. Nootmare and Classy became very close friends. They would always hang out in the Pink Meadow, a bunch of floating islands. A nice and isolated place for the orphans to hang out in groups or just 2 people. He grew up with Classy and other orphans, until one day, 2 more children took shelter in the orphanage. They were named Candle and Drim, Nootmare's lost brothers. At first Nootmare wasn't sure about it, but he could sense a bit of nostalgia when looking into their eyes. One night, Nootmare decided to sneak out with his brothers to verify if they were his brothers that he always loved. He was right. After years of thinking about them, he finally got peace in his mind. Now, Classy, Drim, Candle and Nootmare hung out in the Pink Meadows. Months later, Nootmare and his brothers got adopted by a young lady. Her name was Luna. A nice lady who wanted to take care of children. At first she wanted to take Candle alone, but after realizing that Nootmare, Candle's older brother, wouldn't let go of his brothers, she decided to adopt the 3 brothers, because she didn't want them to be sad. Nootmare had finally lived the life that he always wanted. But sometimes, he would think of his friend. One day he asked his mother if he could make another friend, because he clearly knew that his social skills were terrible. And you pretty much know the rest. Nootmare grew up. He found out he was bisexual, met evil, and became his partner. They had a child whose name is Alan. Yes, I haven't forgotten about him. Alan got a redesign too.